Hi, I'm Max.
Hi, and I'm Denise.
And welcome back to the final edition of 2019 of Urban Lifestyles. And we're in Playful Things in Westport Village. And Denise, just being in here really takes me back when Courtney and Tyler were little kids, and we would hand them one of those toy catalogs, and they would literally circle everything that was in it.
The toys nowadays have advanced so much, and just a lot of things I find so fascinating. It could take me back to the young in my heart.
Yeah, definitely. So, one thing that I think we're missing out on is we don't have grandkids yet, so we don't have anybody to buy any little gifts for yet.
But there's always somebody little somewhere that you can be inspired, and you have to come in here to Playful Things in the Westport Village.
You are right. So we've got a great show today. Some of the things we're going to be talking about is our segment we did with LG&E. We visited Charles Rice. He's doing something with the Divine Nine. We also visited the Black Bourbon Enthusiasts here. They had a great event. And also the Claycomb Academy, and Ivy's got some final thoughts for us from State Farm Insurance. We'll take a quick break and back with more right after this.
Here's the season to be dapper. Stop by GQ at 8th and Broadway. Suits starting at $59.99. Designer suits by Ralph Lauren, Michael Kors, Sean John, and Calvin Klein. Slim fit slacks and chinos, suits, joggers, and more. Turtlenecks are hot and just in time for the winter. Large brim hats by Dodson Stetson and shoes and loafers by Stacey Adams. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram for the latest arrivals. GQ, where the well-dressed man shops and shops this holiday season.
Energy company.
We are mothers,
Fathers,
neighbors, and friends.
Working hard when the weather is good.
and even harder when it's not.
With online updates to keep you safe and informed during the storm.
Programs to save you energy and money.
And new projects to help us provide cleaner, more reliable energy.
We're more than an energy company.
We are LG&E.
We're LG&E.
We are LG&E.
Our energies go to serving you.
#1 station for R&B. Magic 101.3. Give me that green light. With your permission. We're live, local, and Louisville. Magic 101.3.
So we visited Charles Rice at his art gallery, and it has a very unique name, which stands for?
It's color.
Color, which?
Keeping you loving art.
You are correct. And they are having an event that's coming up that's talking about the Divine Nine and a lot of other things. So take a look at this piece. We're down on 4th Street, and we're here at Color, which stands for Keep You Loving Art. And it's Charles Rice's studio, and we're here with the curator, Jamie. And Jamie, your last name is?
Lane.
Jamie Lane. And welcome to Urban Lifestyles.
Thank you.
All right, so tell us, I have on my hat tonight because we've been having people that have been coming into the gallery and they're signing up for an event that's coming up to celebrate the Divine Nine. So tell us about that.
The actual Divine Nine event is February the 21st from 7 to 10 p.m. And we are trying to just spread awareness of what we do here as an art gallery. So once a month we curate a fabulous series. This particular one is called the Divine Nine Series, second semester. We're trying to get 25 plus participants to come in, do photo shoots, and then Charles Rice will then transform their photos into fabulous artwork as you see around us today.
Okay, so when you say transform a photo into fabulous artwork, exactly how does that process take place?
He actually just takes the photograph that was taken and puts it on a canvas, so it looks like a wonderful piece of artwork, something similar to what you see behind us.
Okay. And then does he actually add paint over the photo itself?
Yes, he does. They're actually called original Jaclay prints.
Okay. All right. And how has the reception been? You said this is the second one that's happening.
Yes, the first one we had over 40 participants. Mm-hmm. It was amazing. Everyone wanted to do it again. So hey, let's not do it. So why not do it again? And invite new people.
Okay. And when he has these events, of course, the couples that are participating, they're able to actually take their artwork home.
Yeah, so at the end of the night, they actually get to take it home with them to hang up in their home. They have a piece of them that is forever. Okay. Now, is this done on a 24 by 36, or what's the size of these prints? You know the size is 24 by 36.
Okay, all right. And what are some of the other events that happen here at Color?
We're actually having our December art series. It's called the Angel 2 series. It's actually a 2-day event. This time we're doing it February. I'm so sorry. I'm ready for the Divine Nine. It is December the 13th and December the 14th from 7 to 10 p.m. here at the Color Gallery.
So when you come to Color Gallery, what are some of the things that people can expect? And what makes Color Gallery so important to this community?
We provide an atmosphere that they can get anywhere else. We have live painting. We have canvas painting. We do December the 20th, we're doing pours and paintings with Robin G. She brings about 6 pours with her. We'll have live painting, of course, a cash bar, a little refreshments, appetizers, and you get to come in and just hear unknown poets get up there and just tell their stories.
Okay. So when you come to Color, it's more than an art gallery. It's more of a couple's night. It's an experience.
It's an experience all the way.
Now, I noticed on the wall he has different artists that are featured. So can you tell us a little bit about some of the work that we're seeing here?
Definitely. Outside of Charles Rice, I have, her name is Ashley Screech. She's also the resident artist here. Here's a couple of things as well. I have DB Cash, another artist, Dana Muhammad. She has a couple Muhammad pieces in here, as well as an artist named Jade.
Okay, now, are these local artists or are they from around the area?
They're all local artists. We do take pride into inviting local artists into the gallery just to get them seen, because a lot of galleries, they don't do that, so we want to make sure we want to stand out above the rest.
You know, the neat thing about his gallery is they just keep doing different things to keep you engaged. A lot of different ways to come down as couples, just as individuals, but it's more than art, it's an experience.
But I love the technique. He can take a photograph and then have his personal application of his art style applied to it, and it just makes for an awesome piece of art that you can have just from a photograph.
That is it, and it's personalized just for you. We'll take a quick break and back with more right after this.
There will be a lot of gifts given this holiday season. Give a meaningful gift that brings the family together with a subscription to Jumbo Books. Jumbo Books finds amazing, diverse kids' books and sends them directly to the children you love. It's like hitting the easy button on building your child's library. And you get to skip the post office. Give the gift of inclusion with a subscription to Jumbo Books.
Got an opportunity to catch up with one of my major sponsors, which is LG&E, and they're always doing some great things. So take a look at this piece. We're in the Portland neighborhood this morning for a press release with LG&E, and they're announcing something that's very special that's happening. So I'm here with Liz Pratt. Welcome back to Urban Lifestyles, and tell us about what's going on.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here today and share the exciting new partnership that we have with Kentucky Habitat for Humanity. The organization has subscribed to our Solar Share program, and we'll be learning more during this segment about what that means and what that means for 10 Habitat families across Kentucky.
All right, now how long have you been working on the partnership?
This has been an ongoing collaboration and opportunity, and so the organization is participating in what we now offer as a gifting option. So for Solar Share subscribers, whether you're a residential, business, or industrial customer, we now have the opportunity for subscribers to transfer the energy bill credits that are produced as part of their subscription onto another beneficiary.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So in this case, this is really exciting because Kentucky Habitat for Humanity, working with local Habitat affiliates, is selecting 10 families across the state who will receive these energy bill credits on their monthly bill for 25 years.
And I'm assuming in terms of this program, I'm sure this is something that's cutting edge, and LG&E is once again at the forefront of that.
This is a new partnership for our company and a new partnership for Kentucky Habitat. So this is really exciting that this new option that we envisioned when we received approval from the Kentucky Public Service Commission to offer it, to see it come to life and to be able to announce it here today.
So I'm here with Rob Locke and Mary Shear. Rob, tell them who you're with.
Habitat for Humanity of Metro Louisville.
All right. And Mary?
I'm with Kentucky Habitat for Humanity State Office.
All right, now this is a great day for not only for the city, but for, of course, all the partnerships. So how did it come about, and what do you think about this?
Well, I have to give a lot of the credit to Mary and the folks at the state. I mean, we've been talking for years about what if we could put solar panels on a habitat house? So we have a common vision. We want everybody to have a decent place to live. We love the idea of sustainability, but the challenge of how you get a solar panel on a home, particularly with low-income families, is a real issue in terms of the cost and the maintenance on it. We just struggled to figure out how, we could put a number on that. And then when we realized that the community solar program existed with LG&E, we thought, boy, this would be a great partnership. And I have to say, Mary, and her team were really instrumental. My comments are more tied to locally, how we partner with families and utilize it. But Mary can talk more about how it came to be.
So Mary, fill in the dots.
Oh my goodness. Well, at LG&E, KU reached out to us and they said, well, instead of, panels on the tops of, roofs, what about community solar? And to be quite honest, we said, well, what is that? And we started our education process. We started meeting and speaking with Lisa Keels at LG&E, John Bevington, and just began to learn about the solar shares and how we could purchase up front some of those shares to be able to layer onto other processes to bring the utility costs and energy costs down for low-income families here in the Metro Louisville area, as well as across the state, because LG&E and Kentucky Utilities has quite a presence. But the exciting thing about this is the other doors that it could open with other utilities across Kentucky in other areas.
So when you look at it in terms of the homeowners, what has been their reception to it?
Yes, when? Where do I sign? Of course, everybody. If you're talking about an effect of 30% less costs on your utilities, what does that do for a low-income family? To have that additional income every month, to be able to, in all honesty, just live, to be able to afford what they need to afford. I mean, we always say in Habitat, no family regardless, Max, should ever have to choose between medical bills, food on the table, to being warm and safe and secure in their home.
So when you look at the program, I'm assuming the pilot is here. Where do you go from Portland?
From Portland, we're looking at other areas outside of the Metro Louisville area. So we're looking at Lexington, for instance, Elizabethtown, Bowling Green, even a bit further west. Anywhere that we have a Habitat affiliate that we could partner with in this program, and families that are in need. Some of the families that we're looking at, extremely low income, but also could be elderly, special needs, so that even though the home that they live in, it could be affordable to them, but what could we do to help it be even more affordable?
As always, our hats go off to LG&E because they're always doing great things in the community.
Always giving awesome information, but the way they give their time and energy to the customers that they serve is really incredible to me.
Right. And speaking of information that's vital to the community, let's catch up with Ivy Brito with State Farm Insurance.
Hi, I'm Ivy Brito with State Farm, coming back to you with another financial segment. Guess what? Halloween is over. You just got through Black Friday. It's Christmas time. The trees are out, and so is your credit card, I promise you. What I want to talk about today is how to get through the holidays with a little more financial responsibility. So there are three primary reasons that I want to talk about in terms of why people get into financial distress during the holiday period. Number one is lack of knowledge. People are very hesitant to look up information and seek out information to help them to plan properly when it comes to Christmas spending. So what I mean by that is a budget. Taking the time out to understand what your budget should look like, what a spending plan should look like, is something that we just don't spend enough time doing. We'll spend more time at the shopping mall than we will trying to figure out what our budget should be for this Christmas season. Number 2, lack of discipline. I know it's hard. Those sale signs are out everywhere. And even though you don't need it because it's on sale, I know you buy it anyway when you really don't need it. I'm going to ask you this Christmas season to work on that discipline. If it's something that you really don't need, buying it for somebody that you really don't like, leave it on the shelf. Get that discipline intact to help you to manage your finances. The last thing that I want to talk about in terms of financial distress is procrastination. A lot of times we wait till the last minute to go shopping. I'm guilty of that as well. When you wait to the last minute, you tend to spend more than you had planned to spend because you didn't plan a budget and you don't have the discipline and you procrastinated at the last minute. You're going to swipe that card. When you swipe that card, you tend to buy more items than when you use cash. And when you procrastinate, it just creates a rush. So I'm asking you this Christmas season, so that your finances are not out of control, to balance your time wisely when it comes to money. That's my financial tip for this year. Have a great Christmas season.
What I have in my hand is a Monopoly game, and I'm sure that brings back memories.
Yeah, I always wanted to win and end up with real estate and put finances on Park Place.
I think we all did. But another reason we have this game is because one thing that we're talking about is financial wealth in the African American community. So we had an opportunity to catch up with the Claycomb Academy about getting young people started in financial wealth. Take a look at this. Building financial wealth in the African American community has always been a major concern. And how do we do that? Well, there is a book that has been written by Alex Claycomb, and it's called The Broken Legacy, How to Create Your Financial Endgame. And I'm here with Alex and Jill. And you all tell me a little bit about your academy that you've put together and why it's something that's needed at this point in time.
Well, like you said, building financial wealth is something that we all should be doing. But the Claycomb Academy was actually founded in 2016. I am a tax accountant, and I just found that I had a lot of people across the desk from me while doing taxes that had a lot of budgeting advice. So in that, I wanted to see if there's some way that we can catch youth while they're young and be able to help them make better financial decisions when they're adults.
And Jill, what's your role?
I'm an insurance broker in my everyday life, but also I help with the academy and also just making sure that they are creating their financial end game one day at a time.
You know, when you're thinking about building wealth, I used to be an insurance agent myself. I was a captive agent for Allstate. And one thing I used to see when people came in my office, I would tell them, well, you have homeowners insurance, but how about do something in terms of life insurance? I go, oh no, I'm not going to do this or that and the other. They'll have to take care of their own. We don't tend to want to help build for that next generation. How do you change that thought pattern?
Well, it's exactly what you said. When there's two things I always say that, especially in our community and everywhere, people don't like to talk about. That's insurance and that's your finances. And that's one of the things that we're trying to teach people at a very young age, not to be so scared to talk about it, to uncover those mysteries with the young people. Teach them while they're young, to be able to ask those questions and to feed them the information so that they don't have those unknown questions and things like that, and they understand and they build from it.
And you said you're starting with young people. So what are the age of the young people that you're starting with?
Our main focus are high schoolers, but we also start as early as 6th grade. We kind of do a prerequisite to the teaching of what we give for the high schoolers.
Okay, so when you're talking about teaching, what does that coursework look like?
Right, so our main focus is budgeting. We do a lot of, our focus is on personal finance. Teenagers are the ones that are getting their first jobs, they're getting their first paycheck, and a lot of them just let it burn a hole in their pocket. So we're trying to give them the opportunity to learn more about positive things they can do with their money as far as saving. One of the classes we do are needs versus wants, which is very important, so that they know that they take care of what they need to take care of first, and then the things they want, they can take care of that second.
One thing that I have always found out through insurance and just actually being a teacher is that as African Americans, we are the biggest consumers and we're least concerned about owning things. So how do we fix that? What's the paradigm shift? How do we make that happen?
Well, first of all, we have to realize that as soon as it comes in, we don't spend everything that we get immediately, that we have to realize how much that we save. That's the first thing that we're trying to teach them, that we have to realize that we invest in our own selves first and also in our community also too.
Right. I'm in agreement with what Jill said. I think the biggest thing is letting them know that there's a different lifestyle. There's a different path to go into. A lot of parents have been uneducated as well. So it's a generational thing that's been passed down of bad habits.
That was very interesting because it lets you know there's never too young to teach people to be responsible as it relates to financial wealth.
And have heard about a couple of times where there could be a mandate that requires that people, young students, before they graduate from high school, that they need to learn to take such a course to enable them, to go out into the world, just as they would do with math and social studies. It has to be learning for them to be able to take care of themselves financially.
Right, and as you always say, for you to do better, you have to know better. We'll take a quick break and back with more right after this.
We are mothers,
fathers,
neighbors, and friends.
Working hard when the weather is good.
And even harder when it's not.
With online updates to keep you safe and informed during the storm.
Programs to save you energy and money.
And new projects to help us provide cleaner, more reliable energy.
We're more than an energy company.
We are LG&E.
We're LG&E.
We are LG&E.
Our energies go to serving you.
We had a lot of fun last weekend because we got to go to Kobe, which stands for the Kentucky Original Black Bourbon Enthusiasts, and it was a great event, so take a look at this piece. Well, it's the holiday season, and there's no better way to get ready for the holidays than to have a nice glass of bourbon, your favorite drink, your favorite concoction. And I'm here with Kobe, and I'm here with the president of Kobe, who is Jamar Mack, and tell us what Kobe stands for.
Yeah, so Kobe stands for Kentucky's Original Black Bourbon Enthusiasts. We formed in 2017, and we're a 501c nonprofit aimed at increasing participation of African Americans in the bourbon community and spirits bourbon.
So how did you come up with the concept, and how did you determine that there was such a need here in Kentucky?
So I always try to explain to people, we are closer to a social club than we are a bourbon club. I remember my grandparents when I was younger going to their social dinners, black tie, with the white gloves. And what I wanted to do was create something similar, and that's what we're in the process of doing, is trying to get to that more classy look for our events.
So when you were putting these events together, how do you determine your locations, and what are some of the things that you do in terms of marketing to make sure that people are getting the word out?
Yeah, so this is only our second year doing an event on this scale. Right now, we're really just trying to learn, just putting on events. Last year, we were at Kentucky Derby Museum. We moved here this year. It was a little bit more approachable, and next year we're already moving to a different venue. Okay. So we're just figuring it out. I mean, our big thing right now is bringing people together and trying to get back to the community.
So, when you think of bourbon, normally you think of the older consumer, because I look at you and I know that you went to school with my daughters, and here we are experiencing and sharing the same drink.
Right. So I think we're from Kentucky. Okay. That's our native spirit. As far as being in Louisville, I don't think there's anything more promoted locally as far as spirits than bourbon. I started drinking bourbon and Coke, and then that simply evolved into dropping the Coke, drinking better bourbon.
So what's your favorite go-to? And do you have bourbons for different, depending on the moods that you're in?
I would never say I had a favorite, but I would definitely say that my favorite brands would be maybe Buffalo Trace, Michter's, more common brands like that. But I always tell people, drink what you like, don't drink for the label.
And so when people are here tonight, what are some of the things that they can expect to find?
So, I think as you guys look around, you can see that we're really trying to create an experience. I'll tell everyone that it's curb to last call. If you walk upstairs, you'll see we have a glamping installation where you can actually sample bourbon straight from the barrel. That's a very unique experience at an event like this. We're also sampling a Michter's 20-year. That's a bourbon that maybe comes out every 4 to 5 years, very allocated. Plenty of food, additional sampling, cocktails. I feel like it's a complete event.
It's amazing that younger people, and I say younger because they're 30-something, but these are adults, and they are having the bourbon experience.
Yeah, I would say there's a great sophistication in lending your palate to go into having bourbon and the culture that goes along with it, and the accoutrements as well.
You are correct. And, it was a lot of fun. Sample some things I'd never sampled before. And it was just a great opportunity to get out, mix and mingle, and find out more about Kentucky's finest product, which is bourbon. We'll take another break and back with more right after this.
My name is Monshea Harris. I've been working for the water company for about over 5 years, and I'm a lead man here at the water company. The lead man takes a crew out, and we go out and do a lot of maintenance, main breaks, whatever it may be that they need us to do. What I enjoy most about my job is being out with my crew every day, getting to know each other and bonding, and doing something that's going to be good for the community. I run into customers in the community. I try to soothe their minds by just letting them know that we're going to try to get their water on as fast as possible. We're going to try to make sure that we do the best job we can to make sure everything goes right. What I would say to someone that was looking for a career in the water company would be, it's a great job. I think it is one of the best jobs in Louisville right now. I think it would be a great move for anybody that want to come to work for the water company. The reason I chose to come and work at the Louisville Water Company, I was working for the city as a lead man, and I always wanted to come and work for the water company, and they gave me the chance to come work for them, and it's been great ever since. The best part of the day is knowing the experiences that I got to have. Everything that I run into every day is something new. It's nothing old. You don't do the same job every day, so it makes it real exciting, and you're going somewhere different every day, so that's the best part of the day. It does have the best water in the country. If you go anywhere else, out of town, anywhere, if you taste their water compared to ours, our water is always number one.
So I see that you found a game from back in the day, Candyland.
Candyland, and it's still relevant today. This is a game that's a lot of fun for all ages. It's like sort of a kid's first time around on a board game.
I mean, there are just so many games in here. The games, the puzzles. I love the little cash register set, like you're working in a grocery store. I mean, there's just a little bit of everything. You know what I'm missing from my days was the Etch-a-Sketch.
Oh, yes.
Etch-a-Sketch and Slinky. Those were my go-tos. I always had to have one. So, this is brings us to the end of our show for 2019. We've had a great year, and we would be remiss if we didn't thank all of our sponsors. So I'm going to look at them to make sure I don't get that wrong. We want to thank LG&E, MSD, Louisville Water Company, State Farm, Ivy Brito, Middletown Cycling, and many, many more. This has just been a great year, and what's one of your biggest takeaways from 2019?
Just at the eve of going into a whole new decade of 2020.
Well, you know what, I think that's our time.
That's the show.
And we'll see you back here in 2020 when we start our 12th season of Urban Lifestyles. Bye-bye.
Bye.